Hey, this is Corey.hassman. Thanks for tuning in to another video today. I'd like to talk with you about this video, the differences between an FHA loan and a conventional loan. And specifically honing in on the process of the inspection period as well as their appraisal. Now, obviously, we know the Federal Housing Administration is backing the loan via the government, obviously, for an FHA. Now, for a conventional, it's set up based off of the lender that you go about choosing and how you set up the structure of that mortgage. It can be a little bit more flexible in the way that you are able to put a certain amount of money down or what needs to be done to the home in order for that settlement or transaction to take place properly. Meaning, in an FHA, when the appraisal occurs, a lot of the time before that with the inspection, it may just be for informational purposes because that appraisal, the FHA appraisal, is what is most important and that's what goes. That's what takes priority. They take a list of everything that they need to have repaired to ensure that the loan is being given properly for what they believe is the correct amount in the process. Meaning, if there's paint that needs to be recoated on the side, that needs to be done. If a roof needs to be reshingled in order for it to be upright properly, that needs to be done. If there's a termite problem, if there are a knob even on the stove that's not working properly, and they say that that's something that is pertinent to be taken care of in order to move it along in the process, then that needs to be taken care of as well. Another important aspect to FHA appraisal is what comes back as the proper purchase price for the home. Now, when you go under contract, hypothetically speaking, let's say it's $275,000. They come back on the appraisal report and they say, well, after looking at the other homes in the area that have sold in the last 6 months at this price, we believe that this is the proper price and most accurate depiction for the home's price right now in order to move forward. Now, in conventional, if they say that it's lower, then you may be able to barter or negotiate, just like in the buyer's reply to inspection. You may be able to negotiate for your client, or if you're known this as a buyer, to be able to have that price maybe moved down. In FHA, it has to, or you cannot move forward with the transaction. I've been in a home helping a client buy a home for the first time before, where it actually had come back in the appraisal report that the value of the home is $10,000 less than what we had gone under contract. Now, the sellers at the time really did not want to go back onto the market because at the time that it was, they didn't believe that they could get anything more for what they had put up. Sometimes the sellers do the best job, the seller's agents do the best job that they can in terms of putting an accurate price up on the market, but it may not always be exactly what comes back in the appraisal report. So you need to come down and match that price in order to move forward. In conventional, as I just noted, it may be something that you want to go about taking care of and trying to negotiate down, but doesn't have to. That's a really important step in understanding the differences, just like I noted with the repairs and the buyer's response to inspections. In an FHA, as well as when you're doing a conventional, it's always important that you make sure that the safety and structural items in the home that were put on the report are always taken care of. That's made sure of through an FHA, but not necessarily taken care of always through a conventional. If you've heard of an as-is sale, well, that means that everything that you see in the home is being sold as is. But I always like to put in as a little clause, especially in FHA purposes, that anything that is structural or a safety issue must be taken care of in order for us to move forward. I do that before anything starts in the process. It's signed off by everybody. That way it also shows that if the seller or whoever is unwilling at that time to take care of something that might be safety or structural issue, then the funds can be released back to the buyer in the earnest money deposit they had given. However, if it's conventional and it's as is, you may not get that FHA appraisal. It's just a regular appraisal. So if they put all of those things that are on the inspection report and you see them in red as they might be really important things to take care of, well, if it's as is, you may not have to, or they may not have to, take care of all of those things in order to get the sale done. they may say, well, we told you that it was as is, and that's why we're leaving it as so. And it may be up to you at that point in time to decide whether or not you'd like to move forward and take care of some of those things at a later date, or go back in the search. Those are two main things that I see that I think are really important to differentiate. Obviously, with conventional loan, you can have more flexibility in the structure in which your loan is set up. The different types of lenders that you can go and shop around for are different from conventional to an FHA standpoint, just because of the way that the FHA administers those loans and allows certain lending institutions to be the ones that give those to you, or release those funds, or give you your pre-approval. So if you have any questions on these topics, which are really important, please feel free to reach out at any time. Always happy to answer them. Thanks so much.